With 8 children, a steady home, and a husband she believed loved her, Noella felt like she had finally outrun her past. After years of struggle in Burundi, years of hunger, fear, and uncertainty, Australia felt unreal, almost too good to be true. Her children went to school without worry. Food was never questioned. Bills were paid on time. For the first time in her life, she could breathe. She believed the suffering chapter was over. What she didn't know was that the danger wasn't behind her. It was sleeping next to her every night. Noella's journey to Australia began with loss. Her first husband had passed away, leaving her alone with 5 young children and no clear future. In Burundi, survival wasn't guaranteed. Every day meant scraping together enough just to make it through. When the chance came to resettle, she took it, even though it meant leaving everything familiar behind. She arrived in Australia with grief in her heart, fear in her chest, and hope she refused to let die. The early days weren't easy. She didn't speak English. She didn't understand the system. She relied heavily on social workers and resettlement agencies just to navigate daily life. It was there that she met Balangaka. He was calm, helpful, and patient. He translated for her, explained things others didn't bother to slow down for, and made her feel seen instead of like a burden. He, too, carried deep scars. Violence back home had taken his wife and young son. 2 broken people found comfort in shared pain, and slowly, trust turned into affection. At first, Kalela seemed like everything she needed. He accepted her children without hesitation. He worked hard, rarely complained, and treated the family as his own. They moved in together, and life appeared to settle into something stable. Over time, Noella gave birth to 3 more children, and their household grew louder, fuller, and seemingly happier. From the outside, it looked like a story of resilience and second chances. But inside the home, another reality was forming. Kalela had a temper he couldn't control. When work exhausted him, small things triggered explosive reactions. Shouting became routine. Then came moments that crossed a line, moments Noella tried to forget as quickly as possible. Each time, he cried afterward. Each time, he apologized. Each time, he blamed stress, trauma, memories of war. And each time Noella forgave him. She told herself her children needed a father. She told herself love meant endurance. She told herself things would change. Then the call from Burundi came. Her stepmother, the woman who raised her, had passed away. Noella felt a familiar pain reopen. She knew she had to go back, even if only briefly. Kalala told her he couldn't travel because of work, but he encouraged her to attend the funeral. He called frequently once she arrived, checking in, asking how she was holding up, reminding her that he was there for her. From across the world, his voice felt comforting. She didn't know those calls were part of something far darker. After the funeral, emotionally drained and physically exhausted, Noella returned to her hotel room in Bujumbura. One evening, Kalala called again. He said she sounded overwhelmed. He suggested she step outside for some fresh air, just for a moment, to clear her head. Trusting the man she'd built her life with, she agreed. She never made it far. A stranger approached her quickly. Before she could react, a weapon was pointed at her, and a calm voice told her not to scream. Panic flooded her body, but fear kept her silent. She was forced into a car, where more men waited, all armed. A blindfold covered her eyes. The vehicle drove for what felt like forever. No one spoke. Her thoughts spiraled. She prayed silently, unsure if she would ever see her children again. She was dragged into an empty building and tied to a chair. Then came questions she couldn't answer. Why would someone want her gone? What had she done? When she said she didn't understand, the men gave her the answer that broke her completely. Her husband had ordered it. At first, she refused to believe it. Then they made a call. The phone was placed on speaker, and she heard his voice. The same voice that had comforted her hours earlier now spoke coldly about ending her life. As plans were discussed around her, her body shut down. She fainted. When she woke up, something unexpected happened. The men told her they wouldn't go through with it. They claimed they had rules. They said women and children were off. Instead, they decided to fake her death. They told Kalela she was gone. He believed it and paid them more money. Back in Australia, Kalela mourned publicly. He told friends she had passed in a tragic incident. A funeral was arranged. People donated money. He cried in front of the community. No one suspected anything. Meanwhile, Noella was given evidence, recordings, receipts, proof, and a warning. She had limited time to leave the country. Other people might still be looking for her. She contacted her pastor in Melbourne and begged him not to tell anyone she was alive. She needed time. She needed safety. Most of all, she needed the truth to come out the right way. When she finally returned to Australia, she didn't rush home. She waited. She learned about her own funeral. Then one night, she saw Kalela outside their house, thanking guests for their condolences. When he was finally alone, she stepped forward. His face told the story before he said a word. Terror replaced grief. He thought he was seeing a ghost. She said nothing. The police arrived moments later. Phone calls were recorded. Confessions were captured. When confronted with his own voice, Kalala broke down. Jealousy, control, fear of abandonment. Those were the reasons he gave. In court, he pleaded guilty. He was sentenced to prison. But justice didn't erase the damage. Noella still struggles with the memories. She still hears his voice in her head at night. Some people in her community doubted her. Others defended him. But she stood firm. Her trust was gone forever. Today, Noella lives for her children. Her life isn't easy, but it's hers. She survived betrayal that could have ended everything. She returned from a funeral meant for her. And instead of disappearing, she exposed the truth. She didn't just escape death. She reclaimed her future.